Hey everyone, thinking about selling your house in Amherst.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy market out there.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we're going to deep dive into what makes Amherst so unique
Oh, cool.
and why a cash offer from Sell That House to Me
Oh, yeah,
might be the perfect way to have a really stress-free sale.
it could be.
Yeah.
What's really interesting about Amherst is that it's not your typical real estate market.
Oh, totally.
I mean, you got multiple colleges, you have this constantly shifting population, and
Yeah.
you have this really fascinating blend of historic homes
Yeah.
and newer developments. It's a real estate puzzle.
It is. And that's where Sell That House to Me comes in.
Yeah.
We really specialize in navigating these tricky markets,
Absolutely.
and we want to offer a solution that cuts through all that chaos.
Yeah.
That's a fast cash offer for your house. No fees, no repairs, no showings.
That's amazing.
It's super simple. Visit sellthathousehome.com
Easy.
and you could have a fair cash offer in 24 hours.
That's right. And that speed can be a real game changer in a market like Amherst. I mean, the article that we're looking at, Selling Your Amherst MA House Fast for Cash, really talks about how that 10.33% population increase,
Wow.
driven by UMass, Amherst, and Amherst College, really impacts everything.
Okay, so let's unpack this population boom. 10.33%. That's a big number.
It is.
What does that even mean for someone trying to sell their house?
Well, imagine like a constant flow of students, faculty, and staff moving in and out.
Oh, wow.
You know, it creates a lot of activity,
Yeah.
but it also makes the market really unpredictable.
Oh,
What's hot today might be really tough to sell tomorrow.
so it's like trying to time the stock market,
Exactly.
but with houses.
Exactly. It can be a real headache for traditional sellers,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you factor in staging open houses waiting for financing to come through.
So speaking of headaches,
Yeah.
let's talk about the pain points of traditional selling,
Sure.
because nobody wants to be stuck in limbo with their life on hold.
You're right. The article actually points out that in certain areas, like near Hampshire College or North Pleasant Homes, can sit on the market for 60 to 90 days.
Wow.
And during that time, you're on the hook for your mortgage payments, your utilities, and possibly even repairs to please picky buyers.
And we haven't even talked about the emotional toll of it all.
Oh, it's very real.
Packing, cleaning, keeping your house spotless for showings.
Oh,
It can be exhausting.
absolutely. But the article also highlights this one success story that I think is really interesting.
Okay.
This woman, Ellen, who lived in South Amherst, was able to sell her house to Sell That House to Me
Wow.
in just 6 days.
6 days.
Less than a week.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine the relief of knowing that your house is sold and you can move on to your next chapter that quickly.
It's amazing how a cash offer just cuts through all that red tape and uncertainty.
It does.
And Ellen's not alone. I mean, we see these stories all the time at Sell That House to Me. It's all about empowering homeowners and giving them options, especially in fast-paced markets like Amherst.
And speaking of options, I think it's important to dive into the financial benefits of a cash offer because that's where things can get really interesting for sellers.
Absolutely, because let's be honest, selling a house is a financial decision.
Right.
You want to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the financial advantages of going the cash offer route?
Well, the article gives this great example. Imagine you're selling a house in Amherst for $450,000.
Okay.
With the traditional sale, you typically pay a 6% real estate agent commission, which comes out to $27,000.
Whoa.
And then you have closing costs,
Right.
which can easily add another $7,000. So right off the bat, you're looking at $34,000 less in your pocket.
Wow. That's a big chunk of change.
It is. And most people don't even realize how much those fees can add up.
Yeah, they can be sneaky.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked about the potential cost of repairs.
Oh, yeah. The article mentions Sam, who lives near Atkins Corner, who avoided $20,000 in upgrades by selling his house as is to Sell That House to Me.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So not only do you save time with a cash offer, but you can also potentially save a ton of money on those hidden costs that can really eat into your profits.
Yeah, got it. In a town like Amherst, where property values can fluctuate, keeping more of your equity is essential,
Yeah.
and a cash offer can help you do just that.
It sounds like a cash offer could be a real game changer for people looking to sell their Amherst home quickly and maximize their profit.
Ugh.
And if you're ready to explore that option, head over to sellthathousehome.com and get a free, no-obligation cash offer today.
It's a great first step to understanding your options and seeing how much your house could be worth in today's market.
Okay, so we've talked about the population boom,
Yeah.
the challenges of traditional selling, and the financial benefits of a cash offer.
Yeah.
But Amherst is a diverse town with different neighborhoods catering to different lifestyles.
You're right. It's not a one-size-fits-all market.
Right.
The article briefly touches on areas like North Amherst, South Amherst, and downtown Amherst. I think it would be helpful to dive a little deeper into those areas and how their unique characteristics might influence a seller's decision.
I totally agree. Let's explore those neighborhoods next and see what insights we can uncover.
So let's start with North Amherst. Their article kind of describes it as a hub for academics and families,
Okay.
with more of a suburban feel compared to like the bustling downtown area.
Right, and I imagine that impacts the types of houses that you would find in North Amherst
Absolutely.
and who's interested in buying them.
Exactly. You're more likely to see larger single-family homes, properties with good school districts, and maybe even some multifamily units catering to those student rentals.
So if you're a homeowner in North Amherst, understanding those nuances is key.
It is.
And it sounds like Sell That House to Me with their local expertise could be a valuable resource
Oh, absolutely.
in navigating that specific market.
Especially in North Amherst.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a little bit to South Amherst.
Okay.
The article describes it as having more of a rural, laid-back vibe.
Okay, so paint a picture for me. What kind of properties would you typically find in South Amherst?
You're going to be thinking charming farmhouses, properties with acreage, maybe even some equestrian properties.
Okay.
It's going to attract a different buyer than someone looking in North Amherst.
Right. And for someone who needs to sell quickly, maybe due to a job relocation or a sudden life change, waiting for that niche buyer in South Amherst
Yeah,
could be a risky proposition.
absolutely. That's where the speed and certainty of a cash offer could really come into play.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have downtown Amherst.
Downtown Amherst, the heart of it all.
Exactly.
Lots of energy walkability, a mix of historic buildings, student housing.
You got it. It's a vibrant mix,
Yeah.
and the real estate reflects that. You might have condos, apartments above storefronts, and even some beautifully preserved Victorian homes.
It's interesting how each of these areas caters to such different demographics and lifestyles.
Yeah.
Yet they're all interconnected within Amherst.
They are, and that's what makes it so fascinating, but also challenging from a real estate perspective. It's not a homogeneous market, and that's where understanding the nuances of each area becomes so important. Whether you're in North Amherst, South Amherst, or right in the heart of downtown, a cash offer from a company like Sell That House to Me can simplify the process.
Because they've got that local expertise.
They do. They know the ins and outs of each neighborhood, and they can tailor their offer to reflect the specific market conditions.
Okay, so we've explored these different neighborhoods, and it's clear that Amherst offers a diverse range of housing options. But what about those tricky situations that life throws our way? Those unexpected curveballs that can make selling a house feel really overwhelming.
You're talking about the situations like foreclosure or inheriting a property.
Exactly.
Yeah, those can be incredibly stressful situations.
They can. And I know that the article touches on these scenarios.
Yeah,
Can you shed some light on how a cash offer can help in those particular cases?
absolutely. So let's start with foreclosure.
Okay.
It's a race against time. And often homeowners in that situation feel like they just have no option.
It can feel like the walls are closing in.
It really can. But a cash offer can be a lifeline. It can stop the foreclosure process in its tracks, allowing the homeowner to sell their house quickly and avoid, those devastating financial and emotional consequences of losing their home.
Yeah.
The article even mentions how Sell That House to Me has helped people in South Amherst facing foreclosure stay in their homes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
To think that there's a solution out there that can provide relief during such a crisis.
It's all about options. And Sell That House to Me is all about providing options to homeowners no matter what their situation is. Now, inheritance can also be a tricky situation.
Yeah.
You might inherit a property that you don't want to keep, or maybe you need to sell it to cover expenses.
And probate courts.
Yeah.
That whole process can be a nightmare.
It can be very lengthy and complicated, but with a cash offer, you can kind of bypass all those hurdles and sell the property quickly. It can be a real game changer for someone dealing with the emotional and logistical complexities of settling an estate.
So whether you're facing foreclosure, dealing with an inherited property, or simply need to move quickly due to a job relocation or life change, a cash offer provides that flexibility and peace of mind that you might not get with a traditional sale.
Absolutely. And in a town like Amherst, where the market can be so unpredictable that certainty is invaluable.
It sounds like a cash offer really is a versatile solution.
It is.
But, I bet some people are still skeptical.
Oh,
They'd be thinking, okay, it sounds too good to be true. What's the catch?
that's natural. People might assume they'll get a lowball offer or wonder if it's even legitimate.
Right.
But that's where it's important to remember that Sell That House to Me isn't like some fly-by-night operation.
They're not just some random guy with a briefcase full of cash.
Exactly. They're a reputable company with a proven track record, and their offers are based on real market data. They take into account things like recent sales in the area, the condition of the property, current market trends.
So they're not just throwing out random numbers.
No, not at all. They aim to provide a fair and competitive offer that reflects the true value of the property. And the article even points out that a cash offer can often net you more money in the long run when you factor in all those traditional selling costs we talked about earlier.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're saving on commissions, closing costs, potential repair costs.
It adds up.
It all adds up. In a market as dynamic as Amherst, where those costs can fluctuate, a cash offer can really help you maximize your profit.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've addressed some of those common concerns, but I think there's one more elephant in the room that we need to tackle,
Okay.
and that is the emotional aspect of selling a home.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's about saying goodbye to a place that holds memories.
You're absolutely right. Selling a house is such a personal experience, and it can be an emotional roller coaster.
Especially in a town like Amherst, where people often have strong ties to their homes and to their communities.
Absolutely. And that's where a company like Sell That House to Me can truly shine. They understand the human side of real estate. They're not just focused on closing deals. They're focused on helping people through what can be a very stressful and emotional time.
It sounds like they take a much more empathetic approach,
They do.
which I imagine makes a huge difference for sellers who are feeling overwhelmed or anxious about the whole process.
It really does. They listen to your concerns, answer your questions, and walk you through the process step by step. They're there to support you, not to pressure you.
And that level of personalized service can be invaluable, especially in a market like Amherst, where you might be dealing with a mix of students, families, investors, each with their own unique needs and motivations.
It's about finding the right fit. And Sell That House to me understands that. They want to make sure that both the buyer and the seller feel good about the transaction.
And speaking of feeling good, I think it's a good time to reiterate that amazing resource you mentioned earlier,
Okay.
sellthathouse2.com.
Yes.
Because if you're even thinking about selling your Amherst home, getting a free cash offer could be a great first step.
Absolutely. It's a no-obligation way to explore your options and see what your house could be worth in today's market. You might be surprised by how competitive their offer is, especially when you factor in all those hidden costs of traditional selling.
And who knows, maybe a cash offer is the key to unlocking your next chapter.
It could be.
It could be the solution you've been searching for.
It very well could be. And even if you're not ready to sell right this second, it's always good to have information. Knowledge is power, especially in a real estate market as dynamic as Amherst.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the unique dynamics of the Amherst market, from the population boom to the specific characteristics of different neighborhoods. We've talked about the pain points of traditional selling and the financial and emotional benefits of a cash offer. But I think there's one more crucial element that we need to address, and that is the element of time.
Time. Yes. That seems to be a recurring theme throughout this whole deep dive.
It is.
Yeah.
Because in a fast-paced market like Amherst, time really is of the essence.
Right.
So how can a cash offer help homeowners who need to sell quickly?
Yeah. It feels like we keep coming back to speed and efficiency
You do.
when talking about cash offers. Is that really the biggest advantage?
It's definitely a major factor,
Yeah.
especially in a market like Amherst where things move so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. With a traditional sale, you could be looking at months of uncertainty.
Right.
You have to list your house, you have to wait for showings,
Right.
hope for an offer, and then deal with inspections, appraisals, financing contingencies,
Oh, no.
all while juggling your own life, work, family commitments.
It's like running a marathon,
Yeah,
but with paperwork and constant worry.
exactly.
Right.
But with a cash offer from Sell That House to Me,
Yeah.
you eliminate all that waiting and uncertainty.
Okay.
You get an offer within 24 hours, and you can close in as little as 7 days.
I mean, that's a game changer for someone who needs to relocate for a job, or maybe they want to downsize quickly, or they just don't have the time or energy for a drawn-out traditional sale.
It's like taking a high-speed train instead of that marathon.
Exactly.
You get to your destination faster and with way less stress.
Way less stress.
So if time is a major factor for you, it sounds like a cash offer could be a perfect solution.
It's definitely worth considering, especially in Amherst, where that college town market is constantly shifting. I mean, waiting for the perfect buyer could mean missing out on opportunities, or even losing money if the market cools down.
And I think that brings us back to our initial question. Why might a cash offer be the best option for selling your Amherst home?
Well, we've seen how Amherst's unique market dynamics with its fluctuating population and diverse neighborhoods create both opportunities and challenges for sellers.
Right.
We've explored the pain points of traditional selling, from the financial burden of commissions and closing costs to that time-consuming process of staging showings and negotiations. And we've highlighted the many advantages of a cash offer: speed, certainty, flexibility, and the ability for someone to maximize their profit by avoiding those hidden costs.
It's a compelling case.
Hmm.
But what really stands out to me is that peace of mind that a cash offer provides,
Absolutely.
knowing that your house is sold, that you have that cash in hand, and that you can move on to your next chapter with confidence. I mean, that's priceless.
It is. It eliminates the stress and uncertainty that often comes with selling a home, especially in a dynamic market like Amherst. And that peace of mind can be especially valuable for people who are facing, difficult life circumstances like foreclosure or the need to relocate quickly.
So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, this sounds like exactly what I need, what's the next step?
It's simple.
Yeah.
Visit sellthathousetome.com. They've made the process incredibly easy.
Okay.
You enter some basic information about your property, and they'll get back to you within 24 hours with a fair, no-obligation cash offer.
You've got nothing to lose by checking it out. It could be the solution that you've been searching for.
It could. And remember, their team understands the Amherst market inside and out.
Yeah.
They'll take the time to answer your questions, address your concerns, and guide you through that whole process.
So whether you're a seasoned homeowner or this is your first time selling, Sell That House to Me can provide that support and expertise you need to make the best decision for your situation. Don't let the Amherst market dictate your timeline. Take control and explore the benefits of a cash offer. Head over to sellthatHouseToMe.com today and see what your house is worth. You might be surprised by how easy and stress-free selling your home can be.